In the early 2000s, if you wanted a 6-cylinder hatchback, you had limited choice. The go-to was probably the Volkswagen Golf R32. That came out in 2003 and was 4-wheel drive. But if you wanted rear-wheel drive, there was really only one choice. This, the BMW 325 Ti Compact. And this week, we're lucky enough to get his hands on one. Dan is the owner, and myself are going to have a walk around this car and then take it out on some of our favourite roads. Welcome to this week's Fast and Fun. So the BMW Compact was born in the early 90s, and it was BMW's way of creating an entry-level BMW to get younger drivers into the brand early. They were built from 1994 all the way through to 2004, through 2 generations, firstly based on the E36 3 Series, and then from 2001 through the last 3 years through the E46 platform. This is the top of the range. It's powered by a 2.5 litre inline 6-cylinder developing almost 190 brake horsepower. And the key for this quirky hatch from BMW was it was rear-wheel drive. In fact, from 2004, when this went out of production, that is when the 1 Series, as we know now, was born. So, when did you buy the car?
About 7 months ago.
Oh, not long then?
No, not long at all.
And why? Because let's be clear, the Compact has been a bit of an unloved BMW for many years. So, why? Why have you gone with this?
Basically, I wanted an M3 E46.
Don't we all?
Yeah, quite. I had a deal on one that was on the register 2019 before they went silly money.
Yeah.
And the deal,
manual?
Yeah, no, it was an SMG. But, you know, for $5,500, it was a cheap car.
Is that what you did?
That was what I shook the man's hand.
What?
It was on the register, Cat D.
Right, okay.
But it was a 59,000 mile, lovely car. Long story, but the deal never come through.
Right, yeah.
So, I was left then, you know what it's like.
Spend 20,000 on one now?
No chance. I haven't got 20 grand to spend on one.
Exactly.
So, in my sort of, you know, yearning for an E46, because that's what I wanted, I just came round to these things.
Yeah.
So, this is like an M Sport, 6-speed manual.
And so just for the people that 6-speed doesn't mean much to me. They weren't all 6-speed, were they?
No. There was 400 that come to the UK that were 6-speed.
325 Ti Sports was 6-speed.
Basically, they were a run-out model. So they were in the last year, the last sort of 8 months of production, I believe.
Yep.
They, you know, basically jazzed the car up a little bit. And it's got the same interior as an M3. It's got the same purple tag rack. So it's, you know, nice, tight, turning in and out.
Yeah.
But basically, for a fraction of the price. And that was the thing that attracted it to me, was they're just great value. And, you know, the looks weren't to everyone's taste.
Because this would be well under a sort of a 330, wouldn't it, value as well, I suppose, a standard 3 Series coupe.
Yeah, definitely. That now, sort of $6,000 is what you can get into one of these for, if you can find one.
Yeah, so numbers, what?
400 come to the UK.
How many do we think?
We think that we know there's 70 still registered with the DVLA on the database.
Right.
And there's a guy on Facebook that's doing a register, so he's got the details of 30 that are on the road, and, you know. So, I mean,
super rare then.
Yeah.
These are super rare.
Much rarer than an E46. Well, there's less of these than there is CSLs. I would have a punt at that it's rarer.
Yes. So let's just have a quick walk around the car then. Some features, because there's some things that are smacking out that alloys, for example, don't look genuine, etc. So let's start at the front. We'll work his way round and let's pick out some of these features of the car.
Righto.
So let's be fair. The looks of the Compact were very diversive. They were very much a Marmite car. They didn't sell well in numbers because the young people, and many people, didn't like the looks of them, me included. But I do think 20 years on, they've aged much, much better. And I think this colour in particular has helped. But some of the features of the headlights are a standout feature on the compacts, where they've got this sort of, the bonnet sort of goes over and creates this almost eyebrow effect above the headlights. If we look down the side of the car, Dan, the alloys, they don't look standard to me.
No, the alloys, obviously they are BMW factory, but they would be off the coupe, so equivalent age coupe.
Yes.
Across the range from a 318 Ci to a 330.
The 330, yeah.
These were the wheels, MV2 staged alloys.
What size are they, Dan?
18s.
Right, 18s front and rear, yeah.
Yeah. And the standard wheels that would have been on it would be 17-inch staged alloys, which again were available on the coupe. You could have those, so the 318 Ci, I'm pretty right in thinking they came standard with a 17, but most people went for the 18s.
Just because they filled the arches that little bit better.
Right,
and these certainly do. It's on standard suspension, springs, dampers, etc. And it does give you, it does fill up those arches that little bit better as well. Brakes?
Standard apart from some upgraded flexis.
Okay, and the car generally then is pretty much OEM as it left the factory?
Totally standard, nothing, no modifications at all.
Okay. And after my video the previous week about unmodified cars and things like that, but you have got a few plans, which we'll probably talk about on the drive, about what Dan plans to do. But there's nothing visual. It's the sort of hidden and very subtle type of changes just to improve the handling, really, isn't it? I suppose?
Yeah, basically keep it OEM plus.
Yes, yeah,
so
absolutely.
You can't see it.
Yeah. So that's the front part. Let's have a look down the back, the hatch side. So at the back then, Dan, couple of features I want to talk about. Rear lights.
Yeah, different on the run-out model.
What do you mean by the run-out model?
These M Sports, they were the very last ones that were built of the compact.
Right, and this is over the last 8-9 months or whatever you said.
That's right, yeah, the last 8 months, I believe.
Yeah.
So the lights are red. With the previous one, they were like a Lexus light, so they were clear and you could see the red inside.
Yes, got you.
Again, it was a funny look. It was like a Japanese look that the Lexuses, the IS200s, they'd just come out.
Yes, yeah, of course.
So it just didn't look right.
Right.
And a lot of people, you see the normal compacts, the SEs, they've changed them for these lights.
Yeah, got you.
And then this crease in the boot lid, that's just for the, again, individual for these late run-outs.
Okay.
And obviously the M Sport has got different bumpers front and back.
Yes, got you.
To the SE.
Just a bit more deeper, etc. Lip spoiler on the back of the boot.
All got that.
Yeah, have they? Okay. And then in the boot, a quirk of the hatch is, I love this, under the parcel shelf then is this zipped segment again. So did they all come with this?
Yeah, I believe they all come with it,
And that's just storage or place to put your jacket, trousers, I suppose? Young execs, was it, I suppose?
Yeah, get your suit in there.
Right, okay.
Might be a bit creased, but,
you
know.
Yeah, brilliant. Excellent. Okay. Right, let's have a quick look under the bonnet, because this is where I suppose, the bit that separates this hatch to many others is the 6-cylinder, the inline 6-cylinder in this 325. Looks fantastic. What does it go like then?
Yeah, it goes well. It revs up nice. It tops out at 6,800, and it sounds pretty good.
Does it?
Yeah.
Stock exhaust.
Standard exhaust, but you've still, you've got a really nice whine when it's a twin Vanos. So once they're all open and running and
really
you're on the
sweet.
top end, you've got to keep them on the boil.
Yes.
4,000 revs. And then you're into the meat to 6,800.
Because max power is the 190 brake horsepower comes in at 6,000. It's got just over 180 pounds-feet of torque as well. And it's something about the straight six as well. They do sound very distinctive compared to, well, what would normally you would expect in a hatch to be some sort of 4-pot, wouldn't you? Okay, great. I think it's time we took it for a drive, Dan.
Yeah.